This playthrough is rated T for teen.
The Cold War was child's play compared to this. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with a new game from my library, and this time it's Ring of Red for the PlayStation 2, released in 2000 by Konami in Japan, 2001 in America. Ring of Red is a turn-based, semi-real-time strategy game involving mechs in an alternate future where World War II ended slightly different for Japan than it did for the rest of the world, and changed the political landscape of that country forever. This is one I've been wanting to record for a really long time. I played it like years ago, and it is a treat to play. And if you leave it on here, it does like a little demo thing, but I don't want to spoil it yet. Yeah, this is like one of the few, well, I guess Konami had quite a few hidden gems, but this game truly is a hidden gem in just terms of the game mechanics as well as just the story surrounding it, and just really entertaining game, I think, overall. And it's often been overlooked by people over the years, and I'm hoping more people get a chance to look at this game because of what it offers. Yeah, too bad Konami's not the same studio as it was, and obviously, you know, games like this don't make money anymore, so we don't see stuff like this, so it's kind of an era. Definitely PS1 and PS2, definitely in an era of interesting games. But let's start the game and see what this whole alternate history thing is all about and what this game plays like. The year was 1946, with Japan's defiance of Potsdam Conference ultimatum and its call for absolute resistance. The Greater Asian War, WW2, entered its final chapter. The conflict, sparked by a brutal invasion, came to an end after massive civilian casualties and the Soviets' entry into the fray. The resulting division of country, once called Japan by the occupied Allied forces, came to reflect the often uneasy relations that existed amongst those powers and gave rise to countless human tragedies. In 1950, the yearning of reunification of the North and South, combined with the issue of economic disparity and the unresolved questions of reparations to the continent, broke the thin mantle of peace. And without any formal declaration of it or intent, the Japan War raged for over 4 years, once again laying the archipelago to waste. The peace agreement at the end of those 4 years became a covert battleground of international alliances and communist power brokering, failing to provide any resolution for the strife-torn nation. The dream of reunification spoken on both sides of the north-south border was left as a question mark, and the lot of divided people remained unchanged. 10 years passed. It was 1964. It would be the year that I would come to remember with terrible clarity. Prologue, Crimson, 'n' Phantom. 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 September 23rd, 1964, Mission 1, Shooting Training. Greetings all, I am Christoph Scheringen, the project leader. You are both here because you have been selected by Komitsu Industries' test piloting program and will be participating in the evaluation of next generation AFWs for the Southern Japanese Forces. Masami von Weizsäcker, President. You will be evaluating Vehicle Type 1. It's a Komitsu prototype, 100% made in Japan. A domestic AFW, huh? Must be a solid model. There will be no backup models. Take good care of it. Trust me, alright? I'm a professional. Ryoka Minakawa, Present. You will be piloting the Type 2. This one was a joint effort by Komitsu and Nibelin. I can handle anything. What I really want is to join up. Alright, Colonel, would you like to take over from here? Of course! Now listen up, both of you. I am Colonel Rodriguez, and I am in charge of running the squadron. We'll start you two off by testing the new targeting and firing systems. The vehicles need some warming up, and we'll use a practice ammunition for the first set. Pay special attention to ammunition loading and the timing of the firing during your evaluation. Immediately after we complete testing, you will take both 1 and 2 into mock combat. The purpose is to test how well the cannons fire over different distances. I've left this till the end, but we also have a special consultant who is more qualified than anyone else to assist us. She is here from Nibelin, Komitsu Industries' German partner in the AFW Development Division. They're all yours. Thank you. You could call me Matilda. My field is AFW procurement and maintenance. We'll probably be seeing quite a lot of each other, but for now, that's about it. Thank you. We'll go over the basic navigational controls and fire techniques on the training field. Deploy when ready. I'm not ready! Okay, so every time we go into sortie, we got operational room, information room, record room, and sortie. Record room is to record and save your data. Information room gives us information about the game. Let's go over the unit stuff. This is Weizsäcker here. So these are his general stats. He has the type 1. So we'll go over the top. So his AFW, he's got AFW, crew, ground 1, ground 2, and general. Action is his action turn. So when we get into combat, it'll go a bit more into that. But action is how fast his action moves in battle when he wants to do something. Move is how fast he can move in battle. So when he wants to move to different distances, that's how fast he moves. Attack range is how far he can shoot with a decent accuracy. And then if he's in below or past that range, it'll drop his accuracy, but he can still shoot. RCV, AFW, and RCV SLD are Recovery, AFW, and Recovery Soldier. What that means is that if he gets smacked by an AFW during combat, which AFW is what they call mechs in this game, it's how long it takes them to recover from damage from that. Soldier is when he gets attacked by certain soldier units, will also affect him too. In this case, we don't need those stats, but that's what that is. Alright. Scouting time is and loading times are a little bit different, but load times is how long it takes for in this game you have to wait for your weapon to load, so that's how long it takes for your load times to occur. Scouting times is how long it takes for your soldiers to get information about certain functions in combat and how long it takes for you to get information. Below that is what his range is, or his defenses are, and ranges. So CC, what this is close combat. So against, it shows AFW and soldier, and then it shows CC, short range, medium range, and long range. And then it shows his skills, his special shells, which is FR and C, which are different types of rounds that you can fire. Here's the type 1 stats itself. Maximum attack, we don't have that yet. That's basically a special ability for your pilot. They can do special skills throughout the game. They can do 3 different ones, and they can only do them so many times during battle. After the battle's over, if they've used them all, they can never use them till the whole sortie is over. So you have to keep that in mind. He's level 1. It shows experience points. It shows how many AFWs and soldiers he destroyed over the course of the campaign. His command ability, we'll go over that when he actually gets soldiers, which is mission 3. So we'll ignore that for now. And the Type 1 shows his HP. It shows his main armament, which is 88mm L56 cannon. His sub weapon is when he gets is fighting soldiers, or if he gets into close range, it'll be 7.92mm machine gun. And then it shows his other ranges. It shows the same ranges there: action, move, scouting, attack range, load gauge, combat adjustment, aim adjustment. And aim adjustment is just how much his aim, how fast his aim adjusts during combat, which I'll show there. And combat adjustments are kind of similar in a way. Armor is how much damage he can reduce by certain attacks. And his battle ability shows his hit value against AFW and soldiers, depending on where his range is. And then this is what his mech looks like. Unfortunately, you can't customize the mechs or change their color, so this is how it is for the rest of the game. So, oh well. But this game it's long, but it's not long in the way you think it is. And then these, we'll go over this whenever we actually get soldiers, which is later on. Alright, memoirs. This allows you to get the explanation of the world, which is like what we just watched. If you click it again, you'll basically read the same intro scene. I'll show you when you see the dialogue, it'll show it off. So if you missed a scene, you can just play this over again. So yeah, so it just plays this again, but we can skip it. It's just if you need a refresh. This happens after every chapter or every section. Technically, it's after every battle, but every chapter has a section. But anyway, and then the combat manual is just a general description of all the characters and what they are, and I'll go and read them now. Weizsäcker, test pilot for Komitsu Industries, 22 years old. Real name is Masami von Weizsäcker, child of a German father and Japanese mother. Born in Japan, has no knowledge of Germany. Although lacking in practical experience, his skill as an AFW pilot led Komitsu Industries to recruit him as a test pilot. He currently pilots an AFW. Ryoko. Full name is Ryoko Minikawa, Komitsu Industries test pilot, 19 years old. A Japanese born in the midst of the Greater Asian War, she was estranged from her father at a young age. After the death of her mother, she met Shringen and became connected with Komitsu Industries. Her tongue is sharp and she tends to leave a cold impression. She currently pilots an AFW. Shringen. Unit Commander, 45 years old. Full name is Christoph Shringen, responsible for the AFW division at Komitsu Industries. He has also been entrusted with complete control of all South Japan military matters. His military association with Rodriguez goes back to World War II. Yeah, this is an interesting game because basically the South is, obviously the North is controlled by the Soviets. It's basically a Germany situation that got split by the Berlin Wall. But almost is, yeah, it's kind of like that, but also kind of reminds me of the Korean divide too, in a way. But yeah, it's basically similar to that. North is the Soviet Union and South is America and like German forces and stuff like that. Yeah, kind of weird, even though Germany lost yet. All the German people are dressed almost like, you know, from that group. Yeah, anyway. Anyway, Rodriguez, combat techniques instructor for the unit. 40 years old, a German, he was banished from his country for committing war crimes and fled to Germany. He was banished from Germany for war crimes. Oh dear. Anyway, after serving as an instructor at the Fuji Military Academy, he took up his current position at Komitsu Industries. He's experienced AFW combat in a major battle. And Matilda, Unit Administrative Director, 32 years old, a German sent to Komitsu Industries from Nibelung GmbH in Germany. Both companies are working side by side in AFW R&D, oversees AFW provisions and repairs, as well as unit information management. Alright, AFWs. What's an AFW? Well, let me tell you, Billy. WW2 significantly altered the face of the battlefield. Reliance on trenches characterized the defensive nature of past warfare, but the need for mobility gave rise to a form of combat which emphasized offense. The AFW, Armored Fighting Walker, was created to meet the demands of this new age. Its most defining characteristic is the ability to traverse rough terrain with the walker legs. What's AFW2? Germany was the first power to introduce this weapon into the battlefield during WW2. By 1939, plans for research and development of the four-leg AFW, the PZK-G2, referred to in German as the Ant, began to be promoted. Initial AFW design was carried out by Persch and Hanschar, but its complex leg joints design halted progress, and the early project plans suffered major setbacks. An early prototype was completed in September of 1942. This was followed by the unit's mass production in July of 1943, in time for its introduction to the Battle of Kursk. The AFW's climbing ability and mobility were expected to be put to good use in the area's hilly terrain, but early mishaps were common, and when retreating from the advancing Soviet forces, it was used as a stationary shield. All that work just to basically make it just a big hunk of metal that blocks stuff. What's an AFW? Number 3. The AFW went largely unused in Europe due to lack of terrain suitability for its deployment. Japan, however, with its myriad of mountainous regions and limited space, was ideal for the AFW's reappearance. Towards the close of the Great Asian War, the AFW was deployed in fierce battles against unified forces. It proved its worth during the Japan War as the primary weapon of both the North and South forces and has become the standard weapon in ground warfare. And of course, everyone uses it, and so it turns things into a halt, as all technology does. The AFW was created to serve as the primary weapon on terrain warfare. Its superior balance of armor, firepower, and mobility make it capable of being utilized in a variety of situations. Various trial and error experiments and improvements have made the AFW the pinnacle of AFW development technology and is undisputed as the king of terrain combat. Battlefield. Load gauge. Displays the amount of time before rounds can be fired off. When the load gauge increases and the fire light goes on, the AFW is in fire ready mode. The level at which the load gauge increases is determined by the AFW's capacity and crew member aptitude. The speed at which the load gauge increases is optimal when the AFW is inert and decreases when the AFW is in motion. So you usually want to not be, you want to just keep it at, you want to basically let the weapon move, but sometimes you just have to move for it. So precision fire. When an attack is selected in ready fire mode, it becomes precision fire and weapon accuracy increases while the target is being sighted. If an enemy attacks while sighted, a target and inflicts damage, accuracy is substantially reduced. Although accuracy can increase to 99%, the rate of increase slows as the percentage rises. In anti-AFW melee situations, full accuracy is achieved. In anti-soldier targeting, accuracy rates are relative to the amount of damage inflicted. So, yeah, after you reach a certain point, it slows down a lot, but usually 80% is usually where you can stop and be fine. Night field. When a battle is held at night, the initial damage value of the rate of accuracy increase are reduced. Soldier attacks in close-range combat are unaffected. When illumination shot is used, nighttime adjustments become necessary for a set period of time. We'll go over that when actually we go into night situations. Let's do the operation room and see a brief description of what's going on. Today, both of you will be testing the firing system using training ammunition, then engage in a simulated combat in your respective AFWs. You need to get used to the feel of the machines before anything else. Operate the vehicle according to instructions. Got it? Fuji Proving Ground, weapons hanger. Weizsäcker! What can I do for you, Colonel? You know the AFW firing method by heart, am I correct? Should I? Did you read the combat manual? Colonel, I've got my hands full adjusting this thing right now. With all due respect, what do you want? Alright, this is good. The AFW won't fire until the load gauge is full and the fire light goes on. Better make sure you remember that. Of course I remember. You drilled in my head, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't get itchy trigger fingers like some rookie. Colonel, stop treating me like a newbie, will you? Alright then. I expect good results. Don't disappoint me. Alright, and then if you're ready to go into the sortie, just go to the sortie and press yes. Fuji Proving Ground, weapons hanger. Hey. Hates for horses. You talking to me? I've heard about you. I heard you're one of the best students at Fuji. A real ace pilot, huh? So they say. An ace test pilot? What are you saying? There's a big difference between the field and testing range. I hope you're prepared to find out. I hope so too. Shooting range, shooting training, Fuji. In a minute, you will be evaluated on your marksmanship. Before we start live fire practice, let me explain a few things about AFW combat. These few pieces of information could mean the difference between survival and death on the field for a pilot, though I hardly need to stress that for a class of overachievers like yourselves. Victory condition, target acquired. Lost condition, going over day 1, 1900 time limit. So every game is going to have a time limit. And actually there is a benefit to beating missions as fast and as efficiently as you can. Not just experience, but other things as well. Let's bring you up to date on team movement and attack procedure. A team is represented by a marker on the map. Remember that a team cannot be given action command until it's that team's turn in the rotation. So it's not like it's really turn-based. Instead of it's just you and everyone else going, it's you go and maybe the enemy goes. Then, you know, it depends on how the turn order. When a squad's turn comes up, we say that the squad is on hand. No need for me to repeat myself, but squadrons that are not on hand cannot be made to move or attack. Place the cursor on the team that is on hand and enter. In its allowable field of movement and attack ranges are displayed. The blue squares is its allowable field of movement. Yellow squares indicate the attack range. Note that the attack range cannot be added to the field of movement. You cannot move and attack in the same turn. Place the cursor on the destination square, then enter. The action menu is displayed. A few words about that menu. Attacking is an option only when you have an enemy in team to target within range. Similarly, recovery cannot be selected unless there is damage to the AFW or the soldiers. Select attack in action menu. The team's attack range comes on display. A crosshair will appear on the enemy teams within the range of attack, either to begin firing at the select enemy's team. In the field, starting distance is determined by how far away our teams are from the enemy teams in the game plan. Attacking from an adjoining square means a short starting distance. There is an assault launched from a diagonal placed square, comprises an intermediate starting distance, and anything greater than 2 squares translates into a long starting distance. At the present, our attack range falls short of launching for a long-range attack. Each AFW mount has a strong and a weak distance when it comes to range of attack. Light AFW, short range. AFW, medium range. Anti-AFW, CC range. And full-leg AFW, long range. These optimal distances become clear during combat. An AFW's attack power varies radically depending on target distance. This means that creating combat situations where each team can attack at its optimal distance is a large part of the battle strategy. That's it for deployment and attack briefing. Do you need to go over it again? No, we got it. Alright, so this is us. We can look at our stats if we need to look at them again. Weiziger, since he's in the Type 1, is actually a medium unit or a standard AFW, so we always want to be attacking, if we can, from the corners here to get always start medium distance. That way we have a already advantage when it comes to shooting. Here's our target here. If they're within our range, we can look at their stats too. I won't go over that too much in too much detail, except for looking over a specific set of things. But in this case, this is a no moving target. It's meant to be a training dummy, so there's really nothing to really like go over on him, if that makes sense. Oh right, I forgot to show off the his details and everything like that. Yep, just basic. And that's what, yeah, it's basically just a walking pretend box. So we need to destroy that. And then here's our ally here in Ryoko. She is in the Type 2, which she can go medium range, but as you can see there, she's actually more of an anti-AFW unit, which she's meant to go into CC if you can do that. She can go in medium range, as you can see there, but like I said, close combat is where she really shines. Although, really enough, if you leave her alone, she tends to always stick to medium, it seems like. But anyway, there's her stats there overall. And as you can see, she has a slightly longer load time than I do, as it seems there. And I've got better action, but our attack ranges are about the same. Oh, right. I'll go over here what her mech looks like. And you have to be within range of an enemy to actually check their stats. Whoops. Yeah, let me just show off her model. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, wait. I forgot to go over her weapon type. Not that it really matters. I just like going over details like that, so. There it is. She uses a main cannon, which is a 75mm L43, and her submachine gun is a 7.92mm machine gun. Okay. So there's a couple things you can do in combat. You can look at your turn order, see who goes, so that you can plan your actions a little bit better. The game will go over that day and night cycle here in a second, so I won't go over that right now. You can also check mission parameters. You can also set up your stuff. So I'm gonna set my message speed to quick. Vibration off. We'll leave those on. And then you can also set to stop. What that does is it saves the game and stops it, so you can load it in the middle of battle here. So for if you need to stop, I don't want to save right now. But anyway, okay, let's go and fire on this guy. Yeah, move over there, press attack, and hit him. Pretty straightforward. And then it shows your stats here. It'll show other things if you've got other things. It shows range, time of day, and the land effect. In this case, it's 5%. Which is pretty low. It's pretty much a flat area. Yeah, for our main character here, we always want to put him in medium range. That's where he's best at. Initiate battle movement. Remember what we taught, and winning should be easy. Okay, so yeah, we pretty much just want to stand here. This is actually our optimal range. And the machine's never gonna. Oh, yeah. I guess I should go over what those things are. So, yeah, you can see our HP there. You can see the load gauge, which is on the left there. As you can see, it shows it that little gauge there going down. Right next to it is that top thing that's currently lit is ammunition is not loaded. Right below it with the check mark means it's loaded. Right below that is the little shell there. That means ammunition. So if you've got ammunition of a specific sort, you could use it so many times, but we don't have ammunition. That little star is maneuvers or masteries or whatever, but we can't do anything with that yet. Or maximums, sorry, maximums. But we don't have anything, so we'll go over that when we actually get that stuff. And then the percentage is right there. And then the blue, like, designation is where we're facing, and like, I don't know really much about what that means specifically, actually, than where we're facing and what color we are. And then the middle there's the timer up on top. That's how long it takes for us to load, or how long before the operation ends and then when our turn ends. Medium there, it shows medium, which is our range. And then the blue dot is us, and the red dot will always be the enemy. And that shows our distances. And then the other side is just the same thing. So pretty straightforward. All right, when that happens, we can now fire, which this section will light up. If that's not lit up, this one wouldn't be lit up either. You also got a couple other options, but we don't need to mess with that right now. So, all right, let's go into targeting. Have plenty of training. All that's left to do is try in real combat. So this is the targeting thing. So we just basically wait until the target goes up, and then you kind of decide when you want to fire. I usually like 75 to 80% before firing, although you can still miss, but yeah, and that's pretty much it. So there's other things you can do though. That's pretty much this is where the more real-time strategy comes in. The turn-based is still you have to move around, but it's kind of a combination of things. It's a really neat mechanic. I'm surprised games, at least if games have done it before, I don't recall any other games really doing something specifically like this. And you're probably wondering, shouldn't you just wait to get 100%? Well, if you get shot by the enemy while you're doing that, your aim drops like ridiculously low. Like you lose like 20 accuracy or something like that if you get shot. And it takes you a few seconds to load back up. Destroy the target. Take it out, Weissager. I just did. Alright, we beat him in the first go around. Hooray! Anyway, you earned some experience for defeating enemies. Not always. Sometimes there's, if you defeat the enemies, you get the most experience. But you can also do other things in combat, which we'll go over that when we actually... Which won't be probably till Mission 3 when I go over that, but we'll do when we do. Alright, now let's see you and Ryoko try a mock combat. Roger. Alright, so now we have to go against Ryoko. Okay, was it Masami? Sorry, I don't think I ever caught your full name. The name is Weissager. Don't call me Masami, okay? It's my Japanese name, but it just doesn't feel like it's mine. But Masami is your given name, isn't it? I don't like the way it sounds. Just don't call me that. Okay, I'll go with Weissager. But it's kind of long. Mind if I call you Vi? As long as it's not Masami, I don't care what you call me. Okay, so second half of this mission is fighting out Ryoko. We don't have to destroy her, we just have to put her into the red condition. Next, we look at rotation and terrain. When a team concludes its action, the standby interval kicks in. The standby interval refers to the waiting period until the team is on hand again. The more complex the action performed, the longer the waiting period. If you compare two of the possible actions, standby, on the spot, and recuperate after a movement, the simple action, in this case standby, results in a shorter waiting period for the team. The time of each team's come-in turn is displayed in the upper right. Yeah, as you can see there. The O indicates whether it's night or daytime. In the upper left is the information on the currently selected terrain. The terrain information contains terrain name, additional time value, and terrain level. The additional time value indicates the terrain surface condition. The greater the value, the longer the team's standby intervals will be in the next turn. So yeah, depending on where you're at, you might want to try to end a turn at a better location. Yeah. The terrain level refers to the elevation of the van. Your view will always be restricted by the terrain at the higher point than where you're presently located. In other words, you will not be able to see what is on the other side of a level 3 mountain from a level 1 plane. So that might be the case of like secret units or certain situations. You might want to be able to see what's coming. The squares that are within your range of vision appear brighter, and you can access information on enemy teams located in the squares. That's everything you need to know on the subject. Need me to start over? No. Alright, Ryoko goes and she had her turn. Vei, do you copy? Vi here. You've never seen combat. How do you expect me to keep up with me? I don't know what that question means. It says a yes or no to this question. Yes? What matters is how fast and precise I can pilot this thing. And I won't lose. You can count on that. Oh, really? Pretty sure of yourself, aren't you? Yeah, I'm so sure. Yeah, medium range 5%. I'm so sure that I'll win and I won't lose for very specific reasons. I mean, yeah, we'll win. Mock battle or not, I'm not going to hold back. Yeah, she's a hot flower, especially with those bright red eyes there. Oof, scary. Yeah, she's staying in medium range too, so yeah, we're actually about equally matched to a point. We're slightly faster than her because of our load ranges, which will be to our advantage. Okay, usually, like I said, 80%. Where we'll go, and there she's loading, as you can see there. Oh, she shot. Ah, nuts. I was actually going to fire, and I was hoping she wouldn't fire yet, so. Well, that's not good, actually. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. Maybe I can hit her at 70%. Are you kidding me? Come on, game. She hits me, but I don't hit her. Whatever. Luckily, my load time is faster. Yeah, unfortunately, I suffer from XCOM syndrome, where good percentages still mean failure. Or I was about weirdly enough, before she fired at me, I was actually about to legitimately fire, but she got to me first. So let's get to 70%, see if we can get to her before that. Yeah, we have to be careful in this fight because she actually can beat you if you're not careful. So, yeah, let's just stay put. Ah, well, okay, I guess it evens out that she missed me. Because when I hit her, I dropped her accuracy by like 20% or something like that, 20 or 30%. So, okay, now we're back to even now that we've done that. So, I'll wait till like 80%ish and then fire. Now it's almost the end of the turn, so. Ow. Well, I won't get much load time in. I might be able to get a pod shot in. Because at that point, because as soon as it hits 0, the battle ends, no matter if you're about to fire or not. So you might as well try to fire as soon as you get to the almost hit the 0. Because if not, you just basically wasted a chance to get. Really? Really? That was like 80%. Okay, not 80, but it was like 75% or something like that. Ugh. XCOM. Always, anything with percentages, man. Always. Nah, it's not a big deal. Great, the transmission's so stiff it's a joke. Can't run too well in this thing either. Cutting edge my butt. Alright, let's try again. Now we could recover, if we want to not lose to her, we could recover, so that way she can't beat us, but I think we could beat her without worry. Like I said, as long as you get, I guess technically you have to get lucky really when you think about it, because you can't miss your shots. She can miss her shots, she can hit 100% of the time. You know, it's just kind of a combination of things. The only saving grace is our load times are 20 points faster, so we're going to get our, we're basically ahead of the game, because otherwise if she was the same, we'd have to rely more on the percentages. Are you serious, game? I'm missing at 80%? Wow. This is a good start to this playthrough, huh? That I'm missing at 80%. I mean, I don't need to win this, but I want to show off what happens when you win. Actually, secretly, well, I'll go over that when we actually get to it. But seriously, 80% miss. Okay. No, that's fine. That's okay. Like, no, that's not bull crap or anything like that at all. Seriously, 80%. You better not miss again. Okay. It's like annoying me. The thing is, as soon as we get hit in the red, we the battle ends. So, okay, well, I'll give you that one. If she misses, then it evens out. So I'm fine with that. But the fact is, I almost lost, or I missed at such a high percentage, is crud. So, you know. That's why I wait for 80%, so I have a pretty good chance that I'm not gonna freaking miss. Okay, one more good shot will probably be enough to finish her off. I don't know if it'll be this turn then. Usually I finish her off within two attack turns. Ow. But I guess in this case it's not gonna be. You do actually, like I said, you do want to finish battles as fast as you can if you can help it. Oh well, we got hit in the long range at this point. Probably not gonna do enough damage. I think she has to hit she has to hit like 70 before we do that. So basically one more good hit will be enough to finish the battle, so. And we do get experience every time we go through a battle, so sometimes if you drag out certain fights, you can get a little bit more experience. Because experience is kind of like a minimum, it's like a commodity in this game. You do want to get as much experience as you can, because you only get so much over the course of the game. 5 second, what are you doing? What you're doing is a textbook piloting job. Won't last 10 minutes in the actual combat. Alright, well, we'll see who's actually in for combat at this point. So, because I'm going to beat you. I mean, I'm gonna get my turn before you, lady, so clearly I'm gonna win. So I'm not sure how long, if there's any extra dialogue. Usually by this time we finished her off, so I don't know if there's any more dialogue after the fact. Okay, that should be enough to finish her off. Yep, that'll put her in the red. You won. You're better than I thought. All right, we showed you, lady. And with that, we win the battle. Hooray! Damn, this is definitely not what I expected. I went through a match for you, and I don't expect you to do it either. Maybe get more experience. All right, that's it for today's performance evaluation. Good job, both of you. You'll do this again tomorrow, but with different variables. Take the vehicles into the maintenance yard. Okay. All right. And with that, the mission is completed. And then here we get our experience. In this case, it'll be 20 experience. As far as I'm aware of, you can't finish it any faster to get the more experience, so. Yoga, Weizsäcker, good job, both of you. These are the current results. However, you seem to have forgotten that this is an evaluation exercise, not an opportunity to settle scores. Your personal feelings are beside the point. ... Hey, Colonel, hold on a second. She's the one that... I will not listen to excuses. Return to your quarters, both of you, and wait for the next exercise. I expect better conduct next time. Dismissed. ... Yes, sir. Fuji Proving Ground, control room. Damn it! What the heck did they think they were doing? Anything the matter, Colonel? Have those two already damaged the prototypes? No, the vehicles are fine. It's the people piloting them that needs fixing. Those two are... Sorry to interrupt, Colonel, but I noticed that your new test pilots have deft command of the machines. Very impressive. Hey, what are you doing in here? We really can't have everyone running into restricted access sections, you know. I apologize, sir. I have some interest in the direction the next generation AFWs are taking, you see. Oh, for what next? A public viewing? Okay, we're back. Now that's what happened when we won. But what happens if we lose to Ryoko? There's actually now, weirdly enough, folks, I'm actually gonna do the run where I purposely lose to Ryoko, and there's a very good reason why I'm gonna lose her. Which it's hard to do. You basically have to do nothing, but there is a benefit for doing that. Now, is it a huge benefit? Should I really do it? Probably not. I am gonna hit her once just for the purposes of getting experience, because I think you need to at least affect something in combat to get experience. So we'll do this again. But for the most part, I just want her to hit me. and finish me off, so. No, I'm doing too much damage there. Okay. But anyway, yeah, we'll just let her hit me a couple times. Oh yeah, I guess I can't really hit her again because if I do, she'll go into red mode, so. Yeah, she's trying to move. Actually, I wonder if she does close quarters in the mock battles. Oh, let's find out. She can do close quarters combat, by the way, against us. We had to get pretty close to her though to do it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, she should go into CC mode at this point. Yeah, we can't do CC in this mech. Oh, she's not gonna shoot at me. Huh. Okay. Well, she can CC, but I guess she won't. She's not doing it, so. Alright, never mind. I was actually kind of curious if she'll CC me in training mode. Well, now I can't really get her to shoot at me now because I'm too close. Huh. I didn't realize you could basically stop. If you have trouble with her, you can always just get up right next to her and she won't melee you. That's interesting, actually. I didn't know you could actually do that if you're having trouble against her and want to drag out the battle a little bit. You could drag out the battle to get a little extra experience. Just because of, like, you know, action turns, as long as you do something to her, you'll get a little extra experience. So, huh. Yep, she says the same thing. She's gonna attack me again. Oh, she healed this time. So the power output's automated now. Figures that they would improve the stuff that doesn't need messing with. Great, now I can't fine tune the output. So yeah, if an enemy is weak in battle or they're about to lose, sometimes they'll recover, and if they can, they'll go to a building to do that, which improves their recovery if they do that. You mainly do that for other reasons, but keep that in mind when you're kind of moving around and stuff like that. So normally I would recover too if a situation like this occurred, but I don't want to drag this out too long. And you can't, even if you don't min-max your experience, it is still possible to beat the game. It's just you make it more difficult if you not as efficient or whatever. Or you can make up the experience if you take as long as you want to, up to the end of almost to the end of the time limit. But you get more experience if you can finish battles faster, and you get a better bonus for it. So actually, I guess I could shoot at her. Well, actually, I might put her into the red if I'm not careful, though. Well, we'll just fire, see what happens. Oh, I hope I didn't put her in the red and have to redo this fight. Okay, good. Although the bad thing is she'll probably she'll probably use her turn to heal again, which I guess I'm fine with. Ow. I didn't realize it'd take me this long to just purposely lose to this lady. I should have had it where we were right about to lose as a save file, but this is the closest. I thought we'd lose like right afterwards, so I guess I forget how like the game will kind of make sure that you win this thing. I mean, you should, but like I said, there's actually a weird benefit for losing to her. Although we won't get the benefit until mission 3, but you lose. I thought you'd be better than that. Nope, sorry, I guess I suck, Swords. I guess you can hang it over my head for the rest of the game, huh? Sorry, you lose, and I was just getting warmed up. Next time I won't be so sloppy. Maybe still get experience for that. Right, that's it. Okay, I think this is, most of the dialogue is the same. Okay. Alright. This game does have some variables in battle when it comes to dialogue and conversation and stuff like that. Alright, we're still giving 20 experience points, so. Because we drag out the battle. And the first couple battles you can drag out fights as long as you need to kind of get a bit more experience. So I could have drug it out a few more battles if I really, really wanted to, but I feel like that's a bit overkill, so. Yeah, it goes, I think. Hey, Colonel, and okay, I think it's all the same. And okay. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the exact same dialogue, so. Okay. Well, all right. So with the first mission done, we've tested out ourselves, and In one reality, Vizagor won, in another reality, he lost. But what benefit will get us that? Who knows? But with more training ahead, we're going to get some new comrades and some new abilities. But does the new comrade have something about him that, from a shadowy past? Is this going to be typical training, or is this going to lead to something much more bigger than we realized? Find out next time in mission number 2 of Ring of Red. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.